on that one, bringing Flash instead of Ghost on Volibear, so he wants to get over walls, wants to close that distance, go for Flash Flings. And top lane Volibear is something, we've seen a lot of top laners today and in the past month that you don't usually see.
Get snuggled in trouble. Apple not going to be able to get over there, but the repel's good over the wall. Prime just waiting on those cooldowns. Gets it. The Q's up. Sends a snuggled back, and for somebody who needs to be a strong initiator, the damage that Apple and Prime have been able to put out on that poor bear could cause some problems as the game rolls on. One way or another, it's going to be first blood on the Prime. No assists given out there as Apple is a little too far away to help out with things. Down bottom lane, 35 to 22 CS as Porpoisepops in trouble up top. Prime going to soak up turret shots as long as possible. Apple back into it. Ignites good enough.
Wow. They both took as many tower shots as they possibly could, and that's what I was saying, with invulnerability junglers like Zac, Aatrox, and Elise, you take as many as you can, you do as much damage as you can, you repel straight up, and the tower's going to drop aggro, and it swapped to Apple, dropped his Ignite, did as much damage as he could, took just enough hits, got right out of there. So they pick up 2 kills in the top lane. They're going to be very happy about that one, setting the game off on a very good foot here.
You can see Snuggle just not interested in checking that bush. There's a stun waiting for him, 2 stuns. So even at low health, the Quantic pair might have been able to do some horrible, horrible things to poor Volibear. Not even Zilian could keep a bear out of the League of Legends, and...
Is that when they banned it? I assume so. So the ban actually came out from Quantic for the Zilian, I believe.
That's fine.
Nah.
It's all lore accurate.
Yeah. And it looks like Paz coming out here, looking at the items. Giant's Belt picked up for Renekton, but another Doran's Blade being picked up for Get Snuggled. So he's not going to have as much life, and he's going for that extra damage early on. Probably got sent back with a little less gold than ideal, because he died so early. And he's got a 12 CS deficit here in that top lane. And that's not where you want to be as a top laner. He did bring a ward, but there's a pink ward for Apple, so he wants to make him as scared as possible.
1.2k gold lead right now for Quantic, as the Hook going to grab a minion there for Shadowblade. Locodoco. I feel like if you're going to be named Shadowblade, you should probably either play, what's his name, Tarek? No, not Tarek.
What?
Come on. Where's my brain? Where's my brain at? CheesedBeluga going to catch the ult from SuNo and die as a result. Porpoisepops over the wall. There's just not enough left in the tank for them to fight it, however. It's going to go 3-0 now in Quantic's favor. They'll push it out to 1.5k.
Hits him with the barrel that just picks
Not
him up.
Tarek.
I'm just imagining, Shadowblade is outrageous. He's truly, truly outrageous.
Shadowblades.
Outrageous.
Oh my. I used to, anytime I played Tarek, I would just go, ow. Anytime I got hit, like out loud to myself, ow. Tanking is fast.
So, who were you thinking of? Can you think of it?
What's the stupid name?
Is he a support?
No.
It's
it's Jumpy Guy. It's the Shadow's Blade. What's his...
Nocturne.
No, the guy with the silence...
Zen. Talon.
Rake. Talon. Talon is who I'm thinking of. Talon's the Shadow's Blade. Blade Shadow, I'm sorry.
Sherm's over here, Aatrox.
He's wrong. Dirty Sherm's wrong again. Apple gonna take a tower shot.
At least you didn't say Tarek.
At least you didn't say Tarek. That was way up.
The Shadowblade, Tarek.
Tarek the Shadowblade. Lantern tossed out for the Quantic bottom lane pair.
Yes, to see them.
They don't follow it in though. Apple just beating up on Get Snuggled, who's in for another Doran's item just to try to keep pace there. It's poking towards a 2,000 gold lead now for Quantic. And Tarek now the dark and brooding member of the League of Legends. I've changed his nature forever.
He's saying outrageous. It's really from an angsty
That's why I was on Tarek. It's so similar.
Okay, TA. I can see it.
Yeah. 2 syllables, 5 letters.
They're very close in theme as well, I believe.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same guy.
Yeah.
SuNo up on CS by about 4. Got a kill, though. Still nobody on the board for VEX as far as kills go. I'm looking for the full shutout. That's what I want to see. I want to see a full shutout. I haven't seen one of those. I've seen maybe 2 in my entire casting career.
Think it's going to be Quantic to do it, though?
I don't know. I'd like to see one. And it would have to be in this game, because obviously if VEX comes back, they're not going to have a shutout.
That's true. And Orianna and Gragas both went for the Chalice of Harmony, gonna look for that Athene's Unholy Grail, pick up a Fiendish Codex, and Porpoisepop slamming into Prime.
Prime getting the worst of it, gonna get the stun down, waiting for Apple to come over the wall, and repels at the last second, gets snuggled, coming in there, gonna drop the stun. Porpoisepops on the run, ignites there. Will they get to Vi off the field? One more tick would have done it there, and Prime, doesn't get it. Wants to get into range there. Prime gonna try and lifesteal a little bit off of these minions. Get snuggled, comes in, catches the stun. Porpoisepops can't come back in and help. This one does, though. No, that was Vex.
Nope, that's a flash ignite.
Yep, no assist coming in there, and you can tell Porpoisepops wanted a piece of it. Not going to get it, though, as the reinforce finally arrives up top for mid lane for both sides. Going to be too little too late. Prime gets picked off there, and the perfect game for Quantic gets shut down.
It was basically a Benny Hill moment through the bush and the turret, and eventually picking up the kill there for Vex. Their first kill of the game, so no shutout. Wombat doesn't get his dream.
Only 10 minutes in. It was too early to hope to dream, I gotta say.
Yeah. And even when they are at 0, they usually throw and try to dive the turret at the end or something if it's that big of a stomp.
Yeah.
So I've seen people throw perfect games. But
it has. It's
I didn't even get there.
I mean, who was it? Was it Vex who was up 8,000 gold or so?
Yeah, it was Vex who was
Over
up against
Curse
Curse Academy. Yep.
Yeah.
And right now, twice the CS. Apple has twice the CS of Get Snuggled. He's just got a lot of gold on him. It picks up the pickaxe. Originally, he was going for tanky stats, and when you're ahead, you build damage. When you're behind, you build tank. And so he was going even. And he's like, I'm going to build this. Oh, wow! Straight through the
Locodoco pulled in, and he's going to flash over the flay. Still slowed down. Boxes drop. Prime gets there. Locodoco going to turn and fire. Can't get away from Lucian, baby. He's going to get some much-needed gold down pretty well in the CS department. Down almost 30 CS right now. Going to chase it up on Gunza. In comes Porpoisepops to buy some time. Auto attack with flying, but not far enough. He was just short. Gunza going to make it out with his life. They'll pick up 1, but that's going to be the end of it. 1.6, 1.5k gold the difference. And again, some much-needed money there on to Vayne, who has been languishing in the CS department. Going to get back into this game. Lucian well out front on the CS numbers, and Locodoco almost able to pull one away there against Shadowblade.
That was a 2v3 at the very beginning there, and Gunza didn't blow his exhaust at all. So if he had exhausted Lucian, baby, that might have turned out a little differently for them. But there was very nice fear that stopped Lucian, baby, from actually taking the Dark Passage, and it just timed out right at the last second there, and the Porpoisepops came in from the side and reinforced that fight. So it looks like it's going to be, instead of the Trinity Force being rushed here, Locodoco is going for the Bloodthirster. So he wants to stay in lane, he wants to push turrets as much as possible against this Vayne, who picks up a Zeal alongside his Vamp Scepter, so he might be going for a static shift for wave clear early, as opposed to the Blade of the Rune King.
Snuggle and Apple going to start it up top. Still a long way from a kill pickup there. It's going to be Prime walking away with the Dragon, and Snuggle doing some good damage to Apple. And the passive going to make it so that Apple can't possibly walk away with that one. He'll disengage after a fairly even trade on the overall. We'll see about the re-engage after the cooldown spin. Low mana right now on Get Snuggled, but they'll both dissipate into the wind. Think about it. Maybe come back later.
And it looks like he's sticking around. He knows he can out-regen a Volibear. Volibear has no way to get his HP back up aside from the passive, whereas Renekton, the Call of the Meek, and with the over 50 Fury, does a lot of healing. And we're going to see that here in a second. I think he's going to wait a couple seconds until he knows that Vex is probably back. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to pick up the components of a Sunfire Cape, looking for that wave clear.
It's not going to get out of it.
I think Apple's going to go
well behind, though. I mean, I haven't really talked a lot about the CS numbers in the top lane. 104 to 59 CS, a kill for both Get Snuggled and Apple, but Apple getting big, and we saw what happens last week when Apple gets big.
Yeah, he starts 4v1ing the team, and he goes for the Tiamat first. He wants that damage in the wave clear to match Volibear's. And I touched on it a couple times where he had twice the amount of CS of Get Snuggled, but it stayed that way. Because when it's like, oh, he's got twice the CS, it's 40 to 20, it's a 20 CS difference. Now it's a 50 CS difference between the two of them. It's 106 to 60. He's just doing work right there. He just helped out SuNo get that blue buff and didn't even need the jungler there. Because
Prime in the area down bottom. And one of the things, too, that I just got to point out is look at that ping communication for Quantic. They are pinging just absolutely everything, saying let's keep it tight. Porpoisepops going to come rolling through. No wards in these bottom side lane brush here. Prime going to still be in the area. They try to pull there, but Shadowblade not going to be able to do it. And comes Prime and sends out a Fire and Forget Spider. It will not catch Lisa and a baby, but he'll get it backed up.
SuNo actually started to roam there towards bottom, but didn't follow through. And up top, Apple going after Snuggle, actually going after Apple.
Porpoisepops in onto Gunza. Not a lot of places for Gunza to get out to, and pulled back in with the flay. Box drop. Gunza down. Prime going to come in now, but Locodoco put into a turret with a condemn, and that'll be the end of any dance parties down bottom. The connect is broken, and Dance Central doesn't work anymore, so Quantic just going to have to wait till somebody brings a new one.
And that's the quickest way to ruin a
15
party.
seconds out. Yeah, I know.
Having a good time? Nope. Gets to... Oh!
Busted the connects right there. CheesedBeluga knocked forward. Gonna flash away from the SuNo belly bumps. And CheesedBeluga still getting the worst of that trade by a million. Locodoco taking shots from Lee Sin Baby here. Shadowblade gonna try and rough him up, but Lee Sin Baby too far out. It's gonna be Lee Sin Baby that gets it, I think, off the condemn damage into the wall there, even though the flay was just about the same time. Prime down bottom, and that's just a crazy move right there. Not working out for him. Prime's gonna go down, and they just put a 4th kill onto Lee Sin Baby. And right now, Quantic off to a strong start, have given a lot of money to a Vayne.
Yeah, despite being 1k up, they still have a very strong Vayne. Ooh, here comes the Dark Passage. Will he be able to get out of it?
Try it in, and he gets away.
And I believe Gunza doesn't... Yeah, he doesn't have any points into his drain life. And that's what you do as a Fiddlestick. You put points into your Q and your E. Increase your wave clear, your silence, damage, and the fact that you increase the duration of the fear. That's really all you do as Fiddlesticks. You don't put points into your W if you're playing it right. And right there, he didn't even have the ability to follow him through that Dark Passage. So, very good play there. Shadowblade just keeping Lee Sin Baby safe all game. And the build here for Lee Sin Baby is actually kind of reminiscent of Season 2. Looks like he's going for a Bloodthirster into possibly a PD, as opposed to the Blade of the Ruined King we see so commonly. So he's going for that extra damage, extra tumble damage.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt, especially when you know that Apple is having a great game up top. CheesedBeluga going to be in trouble here. Shockwave's going to land onto both Apple and SuNo, but it's not going to be enough at all. SuNo walks away with that one, 2-0-0 now. 161 CS. Lee Sin Baby going to get to farming down bottom. First tower of the game looking to go down here as they go to work on mid-outer. A couple of minions left, but they'll have their second line coming in just in time to take over. Doesn't matter, as no shots into that second line. Apple credit for the turret there. Going to put them out to a 2,500 gold lead. Quantic showing that they are more than just their bot lane, who have been having a little bit of trouble. And again, going to have a very, very beefy front line to try to deal with that Vayne, who is in good shape right now. Keeping pace on the CS. Still a decent chunk behind Locodoco, but with 4 kills in the bank, that is just going to be a rough Vayne to deal with, but they've got the front line to do it.
Yeah, and he maxed Silver Bolts first, so you would think he would go for more attack speed, but he is getting that extra damage, which is a good choice for Vaynes, because Tumble does scale off of how much AD you have. So the more AD, the better the Tumble, and the more damage he's going to be dealing with that. So it's like exponential. It's not just, oh, I have some damage and I can Tumble for the extra damage, but it scales off of it even better. So he's going to take that Dark Passage? No, it's going to go for Porpoise.
Porpoisepops caught in. Gunza going to be locked in place. Locodoco putting down whatever he can. SuNo comes in. Porpoisepops put back under the turret. Locodoco going to dash in front. Picks up a kill there. Stun. Not going to land on the Shadowblade. Gets the flash to get him clear of it, and they're going to go strong down bottom. Not a lot of health left on that turret, however, so Quantic may be able to pick it up without a problem. Q rolls in. Going to put some damage on. Gets snuggled. Going to be joined by Apple up top. Wants to get that turret finished. Not going to happen. A couple of turret shots onto him there. Apple going to take him lower than half health. And they will head away down bottom. Quantic not going to finish off bottom outer turret.
I'm just going to rotate towards middle now. A lot of CS there. Or Gragas, he's going to pick that up. SuNo is going to be happy about that. Going to put pressure on that mid-inner turret.
And with Prime running the jungle, Orianna going to have to take the long way home. It's Snuggled and Apple fighting it up once again. Top outer Prime to fall as well. Apple could just finish it off, and he will. Then he will turn to deal with the big bear. Ignite, going to take him low enough, and going to go for it. Down he goes. Apple picks one up. Gragas there to reinforce up top as Apple runs low. Vi coming in. Porpoisepops only going to find a big fat man with a barrel full of alcohol, and that's not really Vi's scene, so she's going to check out.
They've got a man with alcohol and Fiddlestick's ready to party. It sounds like a great formula. Ooh!
Mid-enter down, a really nice ult there. Shockwave going to pull SuNo back into it. He stays up for a good while. Prime was there. Sadly, Lucian, baby, and Shadowblade come in. Wolves to escape to. Gunza in. Can throw the fear on. They're going to be able to finish off the blue. Prime says, look, man, we're going to get it, and then we're going to run.
I'm running for my life.
Smite spent, but Porpoisepops in not really great shape to work on this dragon. Quantic going to circle. SuNo off the field.
But they saw that. They know the Smite isn't available, so if they start it, yeah, so Porpoisepops isn't afraid. He's just going to rotate down, and they're going to start on the dragon right now. He does have Smite available, whereas there is not one for Quantic.
Shadowblade looking to get a nice angle on Prime, but the stun's going to land. Dragon going to swing over in Quantic's direction. Some damage they probably don't want to take right now, and Dragon will reset into the pool. Porpoisepops going to come into this one hot and heavy. Q's going to be short of anybody. Going to load up on Locodoco. Not enough health left. An auto attack to finish that one off. Lucian, baby, going to put Elise up into the repel. CheesedBeluga on the run. Prime still got an opportunity here. Not enough. Get Snuggled, going to finish the job. Apple now doing some work. Thresh going to finish off Fiddlesticks elsewhere in the fight. Apple and Get Snuggled just going at it. It's going to be SuNo that gets back to the fight, sends CheesedBeluga home. Going to continue the chase here. No, he's just in the middle of a pile. Body slam straight onto Thresh. Get Snuggled doing some work. SuNo just going to have a sip. He's feeling okay, but Apple comes back in. Recall pings, though, as Lucian baby has made his way back around. Quantic now going to have to beat a hasty retreat. Lucian, baby, going to catch some quarry here. Will they be able to get away? Quantic, Apple gets the slicey dices and gets away. Salad shooter style through the jungle creeps.
Locodoco actually made it away from Lucian baby because he used his flash at the last second there, and Lucian baby couldn't finish it. And Apple might go down here.
Apple got a long run to good here. It's just got no friendly faces in the area at all. Q comes up for Porpoisepops and gets put into the wall with a condemned. Lucian baby picks up his 6th of the game, now 6-0-3. Dragon
that was
under contest. No, they're going to leave it alone.
Not really. That was a conscious choice by VEX to get Lucian baby fed on that Vayne. You saw him condemn him into the wall, and everybody's like, okay, he has this. Let's just go. And wow, that's a lot of damage there. Not even the ultimate from SuNo.
4-1-1, SuNo putting big damage down. The ult gonna be good, or the smite gonna be good for the dragon pickup for Porpoisepops, and VEX will get out free and clear. 4 turrets to none still. So the map control gonna belong to Quantic. They have been very sly about maneuvering around the map. The fight's a dragon not going their way necessarily, but they still hold on to a 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, now it looks like they don't have any outer turrets left to take. They have to get those 2 inner ones. And this is the part of the game where they need to start warding up the jungle. Oracles are going to be very crucial here, and they need to take that vision away so they can start making picks. But the farm across the board is in their favor. 70 up from Apple over Get Snuggled, and Get Snuggled hasn't been having a fantastic game in terms of CS.
Absolutely, and in that case, really, the problem with that last fight is Quantic, they had to retreat, southward. VEX had a nice northward retreat that they could run back to, allowed them to play it a lot more aggressively, and they came away with that one in good fashion. Good initiation as well. Porpoisepops 0-3-5, but playing it strong. He's in good shape. Prime, but he's 1-3-4, 59 CS. Not in too bad a shape himself. Renekton going big, 203 to the 120 CS on Get Snuggled. That's not going to stop Get Snuggled from being a very, very big danger to the backline, but Apple just so big. It's hard to ignore what he might possibly be able to do in the later game as well. SuNo 4-1-1, 212 CS.
Yeah, and Apple, we saw all he has to do is farm all game, and then this big Renekton comes in the fight, and so you're like, where has he been this entire time? He's the highest level in the game, I believe. Yes, tied with SuNo currently. And Lucian baby, despite having all of these kills, he's still down in CS, and he's the same level as Locodoco. So it's not like we saw a Vayne earlier today, who is the highest level in the game, so snowbally. And he picks up a QSS as opposed to finishing off his Zeal into another item because he doesn't want to get feared by Gunza or Cocooned, or even Ruthless Predator by Renekton. He wants to be able to move around, not be locked up, because he knows that they're gunning for him now. So Quantic's plan is probably to get over into the back line and get on to Lucian baby as soon as possible.
Indeed so. Little pause here. That one out from Get Snuggled. No information on what it was about. But they got a solid 10 minutes.
Yeah, they've got a lot of time to fill that up. And looks like Trinity Force is going to be Locodoco's next buy here. And Trinity Force on Lucian, I think I talked about it last game, but if you weren't here, I'll recap it. It helps him take turrets very quickly. His Light Bringer, I think it is the name of the ability, his Q. His Piercing Light, sorry. His Light Slinger is his passive. So his Piercing Light, very low cooldown at max rank. You can just continually spam it. Apparently, Shadow Blade is having some problems.
Shadow Blade.
Yeah. Maybe he's turning into Tarek. That would be a problem.
That's dangerous. You know, it can slip out from under you that way. Hopefully Vex will be able to pull it back together. Putting up a good fight here. Still down a decent amount of gold on the overall. 4 turrets and basically overall losing CS war. Well, an absolutely overall losing CS war will do that to you. All of the money, or the bulk of the money, piled onto Lucian baby, which is a great place to have it, but with Renekton getting absolutely huge, and SuNo going to be doing some pretty serious damage as well, it's not going to be all about Vayne. You need a good Protect the Vayne comp, of course, but Lucian baby is also going to need to be able to find the right targets to put that damage onto. We'll see how it works out, and gotta mention that Locodoco keeping a nice CS lead, 2-2-0. Versus the 603 Vayne, but is up 25 CS right now. And has been keeping on top of the farm, so isn't falling behind. Is keeping pace as best he can, especially with the global goal.
Yeah, and Lucian is kind of strange, and you can't... People are trying to figure out what niche he fills. Because if he's pushing, I believe Caitlyn might do it a little better. And Corky might do it a little better. Things that he does, he still builds Trinity Force, just like a Corky, just like an Ezreal. But it's hard to figure out where he fits into all of this. So Locodoco, not being a huge lane bully against early game ADC like Vayne, or late game ADC like Vayne, sorry, early game hump ADC. He's, I don't blame him for the Lucian, because the Lucian is a difficult character to figure out right now.
Yeah. The sort of best you could imagine, he's very, very maneuverable, sort of Draven style. But yeah, like you said, anybody where Triforce is a core item, you don't really think of them as huge damage characters like late game Caitlyn or Tristana or Vayne, where they're going to build basically straight up damage. Top lane wait right now for Vex, as nobody really wants to be the one to go into a fight, but we might make some friends in the jungle here, as Quantic is hanging around red buff and waiting for a chance to party with the boys from Vex. Not going to get it though. Apple going to have to go on the run.
And Vex gets a ward over the wall so that they can see it. And they're going to go in. Nope, no they aren't.
Lucian baby pulls away the red.
It was hot potato there with that little balloon pass between Lucian baby and Porpoisepops.
SuNo body slams basically into the middle of a rock there. Has to take him a second to get out.
I always wondered why Gragas was so fast and how his body slam gets him through objects. I just kind of imagine he throws his belly first and then he follows it.
Yeah, I like to imagine it's sort of the Kool-Aid guy goes, "Oh yeah," and busts through the rocks and oh yeah.
Comes into the fight.
Quantic down in the river. Locodoco by himself just going to clear that ward away. Not much time left on the pink ward. Minute 55 to Dragon now, as Vex grouping up mid lane. Mid outer still standing. It's kind of easy to forget with Vex having a couple of good team fights that they have not taken a turret out. They're going to catch Shadow Blade on the far side. Porpoisepops going to burn the Q. And we'll get no joy there, but Quantic going to keep the awkward flanking angle alive. Vex looking for a way into it, but with SuNo's long-range poke and the pink ward down and the bottom side river brush, not a whole lot that Vex can really do about it, and Quantic going to keep him away from the turrets.
And we know that Gunza loves these angles. He loves coming in from angles you wouldn't expect him. We saw him last week, I think, running up straight from the lane from the back end, and it was just like, oh wow, there's somebody behind there. And there's so much room to play around here with his oracles and the fact that they've already taken both middle turrets. He could get an awkward angle on there, but he's going to back. He's going to pick up another oracles just so he has that extra time and can continue to find these angles onto Vex.
Vex going to have to call it away as bottom lane pushes over. And just as Locodoco and Gunza both back, they find themselves an easy little break as Vex not going to be able to push in onto it. And honestly, with SuNo there clearing the waves like a champ, not much they can do about it. Going to run right over a pink ward there, topside River Brush. So Vex will see them headed northward. Renekton already up there, going to be joined by Prime as they're going to go for top inner turret. Don't think they've got enough time for that. Porpoisepops wants to spin the Q. It's going to fizzle, however, can't get it.
And this top turret is just poised to fall at any moment now. They're going to walk straight up to it and start doing some damage in a moment here. But Locodoco standing on a ward. They see where he is. They know what this plan is. Gunza clearing out the wards. Lucian baby off on the side there, not in the main fight. So he would be coming in late. That's kind of something you want, too. You want them to use their primary engagement on the rest of your team and then be off on the side as Vayne and come in a little late.
A couple of quick recall pings there from Vex as Prime gets caught in a hook from Shadowblade. Minions into the turret. Gonna get cleared away quickly as Quantic continues to hover.
Elise baby uses the ultimate and his cleanse from the QSS there. Was caught out for just a second and immediately wants to get away and stealth out of that. So it won't be available for the next fight, neither will the QSS. So if Gunza decides to flash fear him, he's going to be out of the fight for 3 seconds.
CheesedBeluga. They're recalling there. They're going to go on to Gunza, and Gunza going to drop the silence down, get Snuggled running low. Boxes dropped. Shadowblade going to get away clean, at least for the time being. Porpoisepops into the pile, does some damage. Apple in, just tearing people up, and is going to force Vex back. Prime going to pick up a kill there on to poor Shadowblade, and it's going to end up in the long run 3 for none as Quantic could not be denied. Top inner going to fall. That's going to push things out to an 8,000 gold lead for Quantic, as I do believe SuNo picked one up. Somebody else did, Locodoco. Grabbed one as well. Gets snuggled, Porpoisepops and Shadowblade sent back to the pool. Lucian baby stays alive, going to hold on to the 603 right now. Still no kills on the CheesedBeluga though. 033, 235 CS though. He's not hurting too bad for money.
Yeah, and Prime ended up taking out Shadowblade off on the side there. And Dragon is live. Apple's going to walk straight by it, but he wants the CS down bottom. And finally, the Phantom Dancer is completed on Lucian baby, and he didn't have the... I said it earlier, he didn't have the QSS available to him during that fight. His Flash is now available, but they just dove him, and there was just great rotations there, in and out, from all of Quantic. They basically ran up, and as soon as one was low, they tagged him out and had the other tanky member fly up to the front. And then Prime just chased off the straggler off to the side, and they did a very good job there rotating. But Vex caught him between the turrets, couldn't figure out which one they wanted to go to, and Get Snuggled got picked off on his way to the left, whereas Porpoisepops was like, I'm going back to base, and he got picked up as well. So the split didn't quite work.
Yep. Dragging down to Quantic. They're second in the game. Third on the overall, as Vex picked one up for themselves. 5 turrets to none, and not really the big story. Quantic starting to get themselves a nice little lead as they're poking towards 9,000 gold. 12 kills to 10, 30 minutes in. Vex still got a lot of fight in him. But a large part of the last 15 minutes or so of this game have been Vex kind of avoiding Quantic. Got themselves a couple of fights here and there, but it's just been a rough one. They went for one by their own top inner turret in the jungle, couldn't get the better of them. Wanted Gunza. It's one of those where you go after the support. It's always a dangerous look because, again, support, not the most important guy in the world, but if you can get him off the field, especially when it's Fiddlesticks, it's going to feel good. If they could have gotten that clean, would have been a completely different look. Top inner might still be standing.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's worth the 1,500 damage to deal to a support to take him off the field, so you don't have that fear. And then it would cycle back, so essentially he could get 6 seconds of CC off on a single person if the fight lasts long enough. No!
Gunza gets pulled to the 4 and gets clear.
Just
somehow
barely
makes it out with his life, as Quantic just too scary a front line for Vex to follow any of that through. Still a 9,000 gold lead, but Gunza going to be out of the fight for the next couple seconds. Vex have been hesitant to leave their half of the map, however.
It was less than a double-digit HP there for Gunza. He didn't have any summoners available, so he just walked straight out of that one. CheesedBeluga did blow the shockwave, so that's going to be back up. It does have a very low cooldown on it, and they didn't get a kill for it either, so gold difference still at that 9k mark. Hasn't hit the 10k just yet. Ooh.
Shadowblade. Gonna take some damage.
It's like a Nidalee spear when I hear the red.
Yeah, when you hear the shin. Gragas barrels can certainly get there, and I gotta say, with SuNo sitting 512 to 74 CS, he's in that neighborhood. Very scary looking fat man with a bunch of barrels.
He looks pretty friendly to me.
Yeah, nice later hose, and I'd hang out with that guy.
Yeah. What's up?
He was like, hey, we're doing a thing later.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'll go.
He's really jolly.
Yeah. Well, I don't assume that large men are jolly.
No, it's just the word I decided to use.
Yeah. He does have a Santa Claus skin.
Yeah. See, Bright was thinking the same thing.
Fire and Forget Spider, not going to catch up to anybody. Prime's still there, and Snuggles just going to walk straight into that one. Thought maybe the rest of Vex was going to follow him in. Now Quantic on the run. Big ult from Gragas there. Puts Shadow Blade out of swords. Drops the box. Going to slow the follow-up here. Shockwave going to put some good damage onto Apple, but not enough. Locodoco caught in the front. Going to be the first one out as CheesedBeluga going to pick up his first kill of the game. Gunza picks up one on the Thresh down bottom. Lucian baby picks up two now, and the chase is going to continue as Prime wants to get away from Snuggle. The minions there. Not good enough. Triple kill for Lucian baby. Prime slowed up. And get Snuggle, continue the chase. The stun is going to land, but with the speed boost from CheesedBeluga, Prime still got a long run. Flip's going to get there, and Prime going to have to stand there. CheesedBeluga comes in, second of the game. Yeah, no. Sunfire Cape does it.
They've started to do the Baron for Vex, though. And this will be the start of their comeback if they do stage one.
Indeed so. Knocked it down to a little under 7,000 gold game here. Baron grab's going to, at the very least, delay Quantic's move into their base, and they will get Baron free and clear. 904 goes Lucian baby on the back of that triple kill. Again, showing that while Vayne is not the be-all and end-all, is very much close to it.
Yeah. He's going with an old school Vayne build right now. The BT, Last Whisper, PD. That's a very Season 2, start of Season 3 build before people realized the Blade of the Ruined King was so fantastic on her. But it's still doing wonders for him. It's giving him the lifesteal he needs, the mobility that he desires, and the fact that he's going to be able to chunk them down with tumbles as well as silver bolts means that it's not just true damage coming out from her. It's a lot of physical damage as well. And he's a level up on Locodoco. Locodoco hasn't been having that great of a game, 3-3-3 all across, but 9-0-4 means he hasn't died a single time, despite the efforts of Quantic to try and get him down. And in that last fight, the Shockwave from CheesedBeluga grouped up a lot of high-priority targets, and then the box was there as well, so they couldn't get to Lucian baby, and the only person there was Gunza.
Shadowblade going to try and roll forward. Locodoco pops the ult, puts some good damage onto Shadowblade. Vex going to move it around. They've got a lane push coming bottom lane. Probably the worst time to have a Baron buff is when you've got no turrets, because everything becomes a game of chicken, and as you can see right now, Quantic saying, yeah, go pick up bottom outer. We're going to pick up your middle inhibitor turret, and Quantic can still control movement around the map. Such a dangerous situation to be in there. Even with Baron buff spinning, it's hard to make a move on a turret. Vayne going to be left alone down bottom to try and get the work done there, but Gragas is going to come in and clear away the minions, and we'll see if that's enough to get Vayne to give up on those bottom outer turret aspirations.
So apparently the Baron gives about 5,000 gold worth of stats. So right now, the 5,000 gold disparity between these teams is more or less even, despite levels and HP items and things like that. But the raw that it gives you, the mana regen, the HP regen, the AD and the AP, they are sitting back practically even now if a team fight were to break out.
Locodoco going to clear the lane away with the ult. Apple there to make sure that everything goes their way. And again, Quantic keeping it 0 turrets here and making sure that any decisions made by Vex are going to be hard ones indeed. Bottom lane reset to middle. Vex going to stroll towards the dragon, should go uncontested.
And looks like they might pick it up for free. Nobody's really in the vicinity. Quantic just grouping together despite Prime up in the top lane. So yeah, no smite steal possible at all.
Ping up top will send Prime northward to clear the lane away. Vex going to roll back towards mid, and a lot of Baron buff been spent trying to find inroads to an outer turret, but with a lot of lane clear by way of the Locodoco ultimate and SuNo's barrels, there's just not much that Vex can do to force their way in close. Still got plenty of people waiting in. Barrel going to wait there for the minions to come sliding across. Cannon minion going to be their best bet, and they will block the bulk of the damage there and still run out of minions. But they've got a lot of damage. Mid-outer going to fall as they finally get the first turret of the game. Vex now 1 turret to 5. They've closed the gold lead down to, what is that, 3.7K. 37 minutes into this game. Vex still alive, still in with a shout, and with Baron Buff burning, not for super long, Gunza gets picked up.
Shockwave into a big fist there. Vault Breaker, Porpoisepop picking him up. And now they're gonna be able to push this turret now, because the Fiddlestick's pressure from the jungle was just huge. The fact that he could Crow Storm flash into the back line, a lot of distance closing there. The fact that he's off the field, that's the exhaust gone as well, so Lucian Baby's feeling a little safe right now.
Nicely played and well timed by Vex, as they're going to get 2 turrets while the Baron Buff's still spinning. Got to move on an inhibitor turret, and doesn't look like Quantic going to put up too much of a fight here. No minions in the pile. CheesedBeluga going to take some damage at long range there.
And now they have outer turrets still available to them in the top and bottom lane, and there's only about 2.5k between these 3.5k between these teams, or even less than that. Whatever. It's a number. I can't think right now. But despite that.
Yeah. The turret's going to be a big grab there. The dragon going to be very important as well. As Vex have now used global gold to even up a lot of the disparity, that means that Vayne's going to be all the more crucial. 904 Vayne now got a lot more front line to help make sure that those Quantic boys can't get back there and just burn that cape right up.
Yeah, and it's actually 2.5k gold difference between these two teams. So what I was saying is,
solid math.
Yeah, right? Now I can see the numbers in my head. But if they take those outer turrets, they'd even up the gold. They'd take the top and the bottom. They would even up the gold despite only having 4 turrets to the 5. So if they were to pick those up, they would be in a very good place here. The Baron Buff is gone, and Get Snuggled wants to go in.
Gonna get the flip on to SuNo. SuNo gonna flash out of it as Porpoisepops comes in late. The Shockwave gonna take SuNo off the field. Apple doing what he can. Shadow Blade taken out there by Locodoco. Lucian Baby off to the side, gets more or less ignored. Renekton down to Lucian Baby. Locodoco gonna try and slow it up. Nothing he can do. In comes Porpoisepops, gonna catch him, hop forward there, and it's gonna be Porpoisepops that grabs it. CheesedBeluga just behind. Gunza just gonna leave.
And Prime can't do anything, so he's just clearing out the wave so they don't have a minion wave to tank the turrets.
Long time to any damage dealers back on the field here, and with the core of both the front line and the damage in tow here for Vex, they may be able to finish it off. It's 25 seconds to SuNo. Quantic, clearly, you had to call them favorites early on. Right now, they're in a lot of trouble. Flip there onto Gunza. Lucian Baby going to shut it down. Prime now going on the run. Nexus turret getting poked on. They've got 10 seconds to SuNo. Don't think they're going to have enough. Prime repel. Sends back into the ceiling. Gets over to the far side of the fight. And down it goes.
Wow.
Vex going to take out Quantic and move on to the semifinals.
That's the old Dirtnap Gaming roster comes back, and they actually take first seed because they beat Curse Academy in a head-to-head, which means they're going to have an easier matchup against Cognitive next week, because the first seed from this fights the second seed from the other, and the second seed from this fights the first seed from the other one. So Team Vex is going to be up against Cognitive, and Curse Academy is going to be playing against Napkins in Disguise next week.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. We'll tell you guys where to find it and what else to do right after this. Hang tight. We'll be back after these commercial messages.